Hello and welcome to History Through Question.
Today's topic is judicial reforms introduced by the Lord Cornwallis. First and the foremost judicial reforms that Cornwallis emphasized upon the concentration of authority, and this concentration of authority under the collector's hand. Now collector was given various authorities along with various instruction given by the court of directors. So concentration of authority in the collector's hand along with the various court of directors instruction. First and the foremost thing, in 1787 collector, for collector IUC, so collector made in charge of district, they made in charge of district. Or simply, if we talk about, they made Diwani Adalat judges, made Diwani Adalat judges. Along with it, they also given various magisterial powers. Various magisterial powers. Now, these collectors are also empowered to try criminal cases. Although they allow to try criminal cases, but there are some restrictions are there, or more appropriate to say some limitations are there. So under which they used to try criminal cases. Third point is district Fauzdari Adalat. Now these district Fauzdari Adalat, it was presided by the Indian judges, presided by Indian judges. So earlier this arrangement was there, now it's abolished, and in place of this four circuit courts were established, and among four circuit court, three were established in Bengal and one in Bihar region. So in this way, four circuit court established. Now earlier, that is district Fauzdari Adalat, they were presided by the Indian judges. Now these circuit courts are presided by the proper European covenanted servants with the help of Qazi and Muftis. Next, Sadar Nizamat Adalat, or Sadar Nizamat Court, it was established, and it was presided by the Governor General along with the member of Supreme Council. Again, this Governor General was assisted by the Chief Qazi and the two Muftis. Next topic is Lord Cornwallis Court, and this code is quite important. This code came into existence in the year 1793. Let's discuss one by one important points under this code. First and the foremost thing, under this code, it brings reform, and these reforms are on the basis of principle of separation of power. Now, this time they give emphasis on separation of power. Power not under the single institutions, but there are various institutions and they all have their own powers in its domain. Example, separate revenue administrative from the administration of justice. Separate revenue administration from administration of justice. Earlier, administration of justice also encompasses this revenue administrations. Next point, that is collector now became the head of revenue administration. Next, introducing gradation of civil code. Now this gradation here means that is at various stages civil codes was set up, and earlier there was a distinction between the civil and revenue cases. Now these distinctions were abolished. They are no longer into existence. Next, if we talk about the important changes, that is European subjects. European subjects now they have to comply with the jurisdictions of the local civil courts. European subjects now they need to comply with the jurisdiction of local civil courts. Earlier there is no such arrangement, now this arrangement made. Next, government servants now answerable before the civil courts. Again, it's a very big step taken. That is, now government servants are answerable before civil courts if any act they done in their official capacity. Earlier there was no such arrangement, now this arrangement was also made and elements of transparency was added. Next is, so if we summarize in this way, so thus Cornwallis under his judicial reforms, they want to proclaim the principle of sovereignty of law in India. So we conclude in that way that judicial reforms of Cornwallis somehow proclaimed principle of sovereignty of law, that is, the law is supreme in India now. Various arrangements were made where there is no such abuse of power taken place and there is a complete rule of the law. Next is, if we talk about the reform of criminal law, so Cornwallis, it was regularized the Parliamentary Act of 1797. So with reference to the reform of criminal law, so simply Lord Cornwallis regularized Parliamentary Act of 1797. Now let's do some observation with reference to the judicial reforms taken by the Lord Cornwallis. So observation. Now these Cornwallis reforms, it was based on the principle of equality. Some elements of principle of equality was there, and along with the Western notion or Western conception of justice, कि now Indians or Europeans, they are subject to the common law, because earlier we examined that European subjects now they were comply with the jurisdiction made by the local civil court, and the Indians were also. So in this way they emphasized upon the principle of equality and the Western conception or the Western notion of justice. First and the foremost observation. Next is, Cornwallis also codified various secular laws. Secular law in place of religious law or the personal law of various rulers or the local agent. The secular law was also progressive in its nature. Third observation is sovereignty of law proclaimed. Already we have discussed. These are all the positive observation. Now let's discuss some important negative aspect as well, that is the reforms introduced by the Cornwallis in the judicial sphere. First and the foremost thing, that is the Cornwallis Court made the matter complex. Complex in the sense that it was not easily understood by the commoners. Second is, now justice became quite expensive and it can only be accessible by the expert, that is the lawyer. So in this way, poor having not adequate resources, unable to get the justice, and sometimes it was also found that false witnesses were produced in order to win the cases. Next is litigation number increases, due to which law courts, that was various law courts established, proved insufficient to provide the result or to provide the justice, due to which justice delayed, and the notion justice delayed is justice denied, that was quite prevalent. Next is, at the same time, that is the judicial functionaries were quite changed. Earlier it was Indians, now it was the covenanted European servants. Now these European servants, these European covenanted servants, they were quite ignorant. Now ignorant in one sense, so ignorant in the sense of local customs and various habits of Indians, due to which again problems faced by the Indians in the judicial arena as well. So these are some of the reforms introduced by the Lord Cornwallis, and we have also made observations in the positive light and as well as the negative light as well. Okay, so if you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching this. Have a good day and stay safe.